Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Dear students, in today's lecture we are going to see chapter number 6, correspondence with members. Correspondence here is a written communication with members. In today's specimens letter we are going to see letter for payment of dividend through two modes, that is by dividend warrant or by electronic payment. There are two letters here. Okay. Now see, letter for payment of dividend through dividend warrant or electronic payment of dividend. Now what is dividend? See, dividend is that portion of profit of the company which is distributed to the shareholders of the company. When a person in a form of equity shares invest in a company, okay, dividend is what shareholders get as a return, as a profit on those shares. So now dividend is nothing but a portion of profit of the company. Now see, company can declare two dividends, final dividend and interim dividend. See, interim dividend is declared between that particular academic year. I can say in the middle of the academic year, that is before declaring final dividend. Now see, dividend can be paid through dividend warrant or in an electronic mode, that is money transfer, okay, electronically by ECS or NEFT to the registered shareholder who is entitled to dividend. Those shareholders of the company who are entitled to dividend gets dividend with from these two modes. Now see, dividend is to be declared and approved by the shareholders. Yes, of course. See, dividend recommendation is done by board of directors, but it is approved by shareholders. Now, where this gets approved? At the annual general meeting. Okay. Interim dividend is declared by the board of directors in the middle of the accounting year, that is before final dividend. Dividend is to be paid to the shareholders within 30 days from the date of declaration. Let's say on 1st of January, company has declared the dividend. Now, before 30th January, it's the liability of the company to declare dividend. Now, according to the instructions given by the board, now secretary gets all the instructions by the board. So now secretary sends a letter to the concerned shareholder for the payment of dividend. Now this letter contains each and every particular detail about the shareholdings. See, the letter contains detailed information about the payment of dividend, such as number of equity shares held, dividend warrant number, gross dividend, let's TDS, tax deducted at source if there is any, then net amount of dividend, distinctive share numbers if they are. Okay. Now the company pays dividend through dividend warrant and electronically through ECS, that is electronic clearing service. Pay attention here, electronic clearing service or NEFT, that is National Electronic Fund Transfer. Starting with the first letter, payment of dividend through dividend warrant. Now see, the format will remain same. You will start with the company's name and registered office along with CIN number, corporate identification number. Okay, Anmol Steel Industries Limited. Then you have got registered office 30 Anmol Niwas, JM Road, Nariman Point, Mumbai. Then the pin code number 400020, and then you have got 21 digits CIN number. Then this format will remain same. To the right hand side you have got company's website, email and date. To the left hand side you have got company's phone number, fax number and letters reference number. Now see, we are going to pay attention to the date. Okay. Now below providing the information, you come to the receiver's address. This is, see, Mrs. Jyoti Surti, 12 Lakshmi Nivas, Amrapali Marg, Bandra, Mumbai 400050. Now coming to the most important part, students, you are supposed to highlight the subject as it's written here. See, subject, payment of dividend on equity shares. Equity shares of rupees 10 each at par. You remember, at par 10. The face value of equity shares are 10 and then it is issued at 10 and then it was at premium and at discount. But now here company is clearly mentioning that equity shares of rupees 10 each at par. Now they are writing a letter. Dear Madam, this is the salutation you are going to start with. I am instructed by the board of directors. Now secretary always gets the instructions from the board of directors. See, I am instructed by the board of directors to convey you that. To convey what? In the 31st annual general meeting held on 20th April 2019. Now underline 20th April 2019 and now there are 2 days, 7th May 2019. Okay, once the meeting would be held and after meeting secretary is going to write the letter. So now the very first date would be when the meeting is held and then secretary is going to write letter. So now you can see 20th April and 7th May. I repeat, I am instructed by the board of directors to convey you that in the 31st annual general meeting held on 20th April 2019, final dividend at rupees 2.5 per equity share of rupees 10 each has been approved by the members for the year ending 31st March 2019. Third date, underline the third date. Now, first of all, the year will end on 31st March 2019, okay, March, and then in April, annual general meeting will be held where shareholders will approve the dividend, and then in May, that is on 7th May 2019, secretary is writing letter. So now here 3 dates, year ending, meeting on the date meeting is held, and then the date when secretary is writing letter. Now see, your company has followed all the statutory provisions. What are the rules and regulations of section 123 of the Companies Act 2013 relating to declaration of dividend. Now secretary is letting the members know that the company has followed all the rules and regulations of the Companies Act. Now the main part comes here as details of dividend payable to you are as follows. See, the very first one, register folio number. This table is very important. Pay attention. The very first one, register folio number. Number of shares held. If 100 shares are there would be distinctive numbers from and to. Let's say 301 to 400. These are 100 shares. Now, dividend warrant number, most important, and then gross dividend. Gross dividend 250. See, 2.5 per share and the value of share is 10. So 2.5 into 10 is 250. There is no tax deducted at source. See, income tax deducted nil. So now the net dividend is 250. As we are going to pay dividend through dividend warrant will be attached with this letter. See, the dividend warrant is attached herewith. Herewith means with this letter. Please detach the dividend warrant along the perforated lines. See, you always have seen that dotted lines, okay? You must have seen any of the letter pads, they have got dotted lines. Those lines are known as perforated lines. So now dividend warrant is attached along with this letter. So now we are going to get one enclosure. Enclosure means something that is attached with this letter. I repeat, the dividend warrant is attached herewith. Please detach the dividend warrant along the perforated line. Then you're thanking you. Then you're closing the letter with yours faithfully for Anmol Steel Industries Limited. For whom you're writing the letter? You're writing letter for the company, that is Anmol Steel Industries Limited. Signature, secretary. Here the most important part is enclosure. What you're enclosing here with this letter is dividend warrant. Okay. Now, coming to the second letter, electronic payment of interim dividend. Dividend which is declared in the middle of accounting year. Now, payment is done through, you can say, electronic clearing service, ECS or NEFT. Now, see, you are writing for the company Guru Rasai Auto Limited, again registered office. Then you have got company's CIN number. To the right hand side you have got website, company's website, email and date. To the left hand side you have got phone number, fax number and reference number. This would be same for all the letters. Coming to the receiver's address, Mr. Jayant Modi, 15 Sagar Apartment, Venvihar Road, Pune 411030. You are supposed to write the pin code along with this. The most important part here in this letter is the subject. As I have told already previously, you are supposed to highlight the subject. See, payment of interim dividend through electronic clearing service or direct credit, that is NEFT, National Electronic Fund Transfer. Dear Sir, you are going to start with the salutation. Dear Sir, we are pleased to inform you that the Board of Directors of Guru Rasai Auto Limited, in its meeting held on Thursday, 28th May 2019. Now underline the date, 28th May 2019, and coming to the top date you have got 3rd June 2019. Now once the meeting would be held, okay, the meeting will be held in May and then secretary is writing letter in June. Meeting was already held on 28th May 2019 and secretary has written this letter on 3rd June. I repeat, we are pleased to inform you that the Board of Directors of Guru Rasai Auto Limited in its meeting held on Thursday 28th May 2019 what has declared interim dividend at rupee 1, that is 10% per equity share of face value of rupees 10 each. Now, as per the instructions given by you, that means the shareholder has already provided certain instructions. As per the instructions given by you, either in person or through depository participant DP, we are already done with. Either in person or through depository participant, we have remitted the amount of aforesaid interim dividend to your banker for crediting your bank account. Now, aforesaid, the said amount is already credited to your bank account. That is, dividend will be payable by electronic transfer. Now, amount company is directly transferring to your account through your depository participant. Your company has compiled with, again you are trying to inform the shareholder that company has followed all the rules and regulations. Your company has compiled with all the provisions relating to declaration and payment of dividend. Now see details. Details of dividend payable to you are given below. Now there is a slight change in the columns. See, as company is paying through depository participant, the client ID and depository participant ID will be added here. See, number of equity shares held on record date 31st May, that is May 31st, 2019. 500 shares are there. Dividend per share is ₹1. That means total amount would be 500. Okay, this is the actual holdings, the actual shares held with the shareholder. Now the other details. Depository participant ID, DPID is nothing but depository participant ID and client ID number. Then you have got date of remittance, on which date company is going to give the amount, that is 6th June 2019. And the last column you have got as bank account. Now through which bank or in which bank account you are getting the amount, that is BOB, Bank of Baroda. Okay, now you have provided all the necessary information. Coming to the last, you are going to end your letter with, please verify the credit of amount in your passbook or statement of accounts. Now the bank is asking you to verify the amount. Okay, now as per the provisions of the Income Tax Act 1961, no tax is required to be deducted at source in respect of dividend payment. Now here the company is clearly mentioning that according to this Income Tax Act 1961, no tax is required to be paid. Okay, but dividend distribution tax has been paid by the company. The company has already paid on your behalf. Now you are going to end the letter as thanking you, yours faithfully, for Guru Rusai Auto Limited. Signature, Mr. Jitesh M. Gandhi, that is company secretary. Clear? With this, we come to an end for this letter. Thank you, class. That's all for today.